Gutterball.
Hey, we got episode 10 Gutterball. Yeah, we're finally here. Number 10. Got Jackson, of course, Paul, two of my great friends, and then, of course, me, Brandon. We're here. Uh, want to get off right away by saying that we're very excited with where we're at, honestly. I'm very stoked. I know these two guys here have also been very vocal about how stoked we are, where we are. I mean, it's all I got to say. And then we want to get guests. We're finally feeling like we're going to be able to start getting other people. Like, we'd love to start getting new perspectives on here, just talk about shit, whatever it is. Like, we got people, we definitely have had people already talk to us about getting us, or getting them on here, I should say. And so we got some people already, but feel free. Like, we have a lot of information and ways to reach us, whether it's our social medias, of course, and
Gutterball Business. Right
yeah,
there at the bottom
our
at
email.
gmail.com.
Yep.
At Gutterball Podcasts on Instagram. I run the Instagram page and the Twitter page, so message us there. We'll be responding.
But yeah, we will drop comments of maybe of other YouTubers that are up and coming that are looking to collaborate. We'd for sure entertain any ideas for guests. We're honestly just thinking about having a random people on from different professions to kind of just talk about their day-to-day, their job, and what they've learned throughout their careers or lives, just to kind of see everybody's got a different story, everybody's got a different path, and it's really cool to learn about others' paths and what they took, and then maybe what you can do to shape yours along the way. But first topic this week, and it's a spicy one because it just dropped yesterday officially, student loan forgiveness. President Biden basically announced yesterday, well, it would be a few days ago when you guys see this cast, that he's forgiving $10,000 in federal student loans, or up to $10,000 in federal student loans, for anybody making under $125,000 a year, and that's joint. So if you're a single person, if you make under 125K, federal loans, 10 grand is going to go away. As far as I know, there's going to be an application for it, so everybody's going to have to do an application for it, I think. They also postpone loans now again to December 31st, and I think that's honestly the last time they're going to push it because of this forgiveness. A lot of people are pissed off, but that's, with any big change like that, you're going to have a lot of people that are pissed off.
Yeah.
In my boat, and I'm just going to say this, I paid down to exactly 10 grand when the pandemic hit, and I was like, I'm just going to kind of sit on it when they froze it. Well, I'm assuming now my balance is zero because I owed exactly 10 in federal. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I think, I low-key think in the long run, this student loan forgiveness could probably be bad because they won't answer who's going to pay for it. And we all know the answer. It's going to be taxes on, and I'm hoping not the middle class. I mean, it's probably just spread evenly across everybody, but, yeah, I think that's really going to be a problem, though. Definitely, nobody's going to want to pay more in taxes. And I agree. Why should you have to pay for my schooling if you didn't go to school? Or, yeah, I get it. But I am appreciating it for what it is because it's affecting me. I know it's not affecting a lot of people. So it's what am I going to do? They're getting rid of $10,000 that I owe. I'm not going to say no.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
No
sure.
shit. Yeah.
I'll take that. And then, because I've even been considering going back to school a little bit because the IT career field I'm in, maybe I haven't really decided if it's what I really want to do, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see how it goes. But that's just huge news, right? And they're even forgiving up to 20 grand for people that have a Pell Grant. So an additional 10 grand on top of the 10.
What is that actually? I did see that was what is that exactly? I never looked into it.
I know it's related to lower income. So a Pell Grant is a subsidy the U.S. federal government provides for students who need it to pay for college. So basically, they're limited to students with financial need, who have not earned their first bachelor's degree, or who are enrolled in certain posts. I cannot say that word. I've never seen that word in my life through participating institutions, but
it's for lower class.
Yeah, basically.
An additional.
Yeah. Okay. So they'll get another additional. So it's I mean, that's to say something though, right? You could have a Pell Grant, be low income. You can be 200K in debt. Oh, whoopee, 20 grand. I mean, still it's 20 grand, but That's still a lot of
See,
money
I
to be
get the
made.
whole argument that, the people have that like, oh, who's going to pay for it? But at the same time, or how it's not fair to the people who did pay for theirs.
That's
People need to
also true.
realize also, but there was a fucking pandemic. Like that affected like
That
college
is
students
true.
who already have the hardest time arguably amongst anybody with money because of how expensive it is.
Yeah. And that's excluding
With a
obviously
pandemic.
that's obviously also what you're saying. It's obviously excluding people that parents just pay through college. We're talking about a normal kid that's pulling out loans because let's
Yeah.
be real here.
Yeah.
Every normal person, unless you're very financially successful or you come from money with your family, every person's pulling out loans. Like at some point,
100%.
whether it's for a
Yeah.
fucking house, college, or a new car, whatever. But still, like, everybody's gonna be pulling out loans. That's just like what it's gonna be. And it just so happened at a time where the pandemic happened and it caused a lot of financial strain for people. And people had to stay home, and a lot of people lost their jobs too because of the pandemic, and also lost their jobs because they had to watch their kid. They had like no choice. Like, so yeah, like I get it. Those people, you totally have a right to be mad. Like, I'm not gonna say you're not wrong. I would be mad too. Fuck. But I'm not. I'm on the other side, and I think it's cool. Jackson, do you have anything on that topic? Like, what do you think of that whole
Um,
loan forgiveness?
I think it's wonderful. I don't understand. I get why people are mad, but at
Yeah.
the same time, it's like, it's better than doing nothing about it. I think there's definitely better ways to spend that money.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna spend it that way, great. At least somebody's getting a fucking break once in a while. Actually helping it, because it does a lot, but it doesn't do anything for the cost of college. It's still got to be that pricey. And still, kids going into it now, like me, which I'm even thinking about enrolling, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to be paying those outrageous fees. So, but it does give a little bit of hope that they'll do it again in the future. So it makes me more inclined to want to go to college. But
Yeah.
again, with the prices.
I agree. And Jackson, don't really let that deter you too, because 10 grand is not a lot of money. Like I knew I was gonna, like, I pretty much get, like, my plan was, once the freeze was up, was to just start paying it. I was gonna pay it off within a year easily, because that's really not a ton of money. You think about it over time, right? But still, like, Jackson, you could
Not
easily,
not if you actually are using your degree.
that's fair too.
Like, and have
That's also a
pay-
big
Right,
thing,
of
right?
course.
Like, if
Mhm.
you
thing
don't,
is, like, a
yeah.
lot of people, I actually know quite a few people that like have graduated and not even they're in careers like actually making good money, fortunately, but like not even in the like what they went to school for, like not even
See,
relevant.
Yeah.
and I don't want to be in that boat, but at the same time, um, what else do I have to do but learn? You know what I mean? Like, I can
Sure.
go to school, I can go to work and shit, but like, this is a prime time to fucking learn. You know what I mean? What else should I be doing?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just don't let that deter you. I mean, it's always, who knows what you'll get into. You'll end up paying it off too. Like, at least trade schools, like the 2-year school I went to, or community college, was not expensive at all. Like, you can go there easily for a 2-year degree for under 20K, or maybe a little above that. Like,
I'd have to, of course, figure out what I want to go for, of
yeah.
course, and then just
But what it comes down
get up
to
from
really
there.
after this conversation is, school shouldn't cost money, in my opinion. Like, any additional, like, you would think about it this way, and maybe I'm wrong, and I know there's some financial guy that knows a lot more about me out there that could answer this, but like, how do you invest in your people if you're making them invest in themselves to learn things and be productive in society? Like, everybody needs to learn a skill. Why isn't that free? Or at least way cheaper than it is, because you would think that our own government wants to invest in us as people to grow capital, grow the country. But, like, I'm sure there's somebody out there like, oh, it's because of this and this, and people want to do this, and oh, that doesn't work. And I'm sure that's why. I'm just blanketing it, right? Like, I'm not going
Yeah.
in detail.
That's a fair point though, Paul. I've never thought of it that way. Like,
But,
it
like,
College
seems
is
like a
America's biggest scam.
yeah. And the second biggest scam is
yeah.
insurance here,
Oh,
like,
100%.
for everything.
Oh, fuck insurance, dude.
Medical care should be free. Medical care, schooling, those two things hands down should be free. I would live with paying for car and home insurance if we could just get free education and free health care and, like, medical aid. Like, it's just ridiculous.
I agree with those in
That's
principle,
fair.
but free healthcare always ends up being fucking garbage
Yeah,
because
that's
they
very
don't
true
pay
too.
doctors. The doctors don't want to work. Um,
Yeah. Like it all sounds good. It's just fucking
yeah,
like how do
very.
you get that though? It's
Hmm.
kind of, whole fucking you gotta pick your poison almost.
And it's like the country's too far gone. Those things don't change, and if they do change, it's not for matter. It's over years, over
Yeah.
Yeah.
lifetimes.
Oh, we'll never see it in our lifetime.
No.
Um,
Who knows?
I don't know. It's
The boomers, dude. Once they're gone.
a sticky situation. What I've actually been reading on more is Biden is like trying to roll out a new cashless system, and he wants all. He's like recently in this in coming up in December now. He's putting out like a ban or like more of like a kind of a control on cryptocurrency and shit like that. Which I think is fucking scary to think that
Yeah,
there'll be a
what?
cashless
How does
society.
that make
That's not
well,
cool at all.
I don't know. I just
Wait,
ha-
hold on. He wants to
yeah.
get rid of physical money? Like, what's this whole thing about? I've never heard of
From
this.
what I read is that he's like putting like new like restrictions on cryptocurrency and shit like that, and he wants the government to be able to track you easier with that, and kind of like this is the start of because he wants to do this eventually is kind of introduce a cashless society where there is no
Oh.
cash and it's all online.
Well, I
So
hate
then
to break
again,
it to him,
so they can track you.
the dollar bill's never going away. Like, good luck.
Right.
I will
Well,
say,
no.
Exactly. I
yeah,
don't
I'm
think it's
sure
possible.
maybe they'll print less to be green, right? Maybe like they just won't print as
Mhm.
much and a little more of it's digital. There's no way you get rid of the dollar. At least I think. But a lot of people are gonna hate that I'm gonna say this, man, but I kind of agree there needs to be some restrictions on crypto at this point. Do you know how many people are probably
Mhm.
using it to launder so much bad shit and they're getting away with so much stuff that like I would like to be getting away with, and I'm mad that I didn't think about it first. Those people should be those people should be,
See,
fined or put in trouble for because I'm sure there's some
honestly,
sketchy
I
shit
know
going on with
so
crypto. I
little
wouldn't be
about
surprised. And
that
I don't know a lot about it either,
topic
but
in general.
yeah,
Like I
like
like I
I'm
don't
not
even
into crypto.
know.
I'm in IT. I don't care about crypto. I'm not interested. I'm not a
Mhm.
financial guy. Like it doesn't really interest me.
So, but
Um,
how relevant is it actually, would you say, like right now? Like,
Crypto,
is it as big as it seems?
the
Like it,
fairly relevant market now. All these different styles of cryptocurrency are coming out. Some are being born every day. I feel like some must be dying, just like species on Earth every day. But like
Mhm.
or they drop
sure.
so much that no one's investing in them anymore. I mean, but there's too many now. It almost seems like when I was trying to invest in it, I looked and there's like 40 different coins and bits and whatever, and I'm
And
like,
that's the thing is it
Yeah.
just seems like an overwhelming market already.
Yeah,
uh,
Like,
exactly, and
somebody out there
I've
smarter
actually
than me
been
again. Like the way I see it is, it's a way for the
yeah,
already rich to get richer off dumb people. But that's just me. It's
yeah,
like if you were to get into crypto, you should have gotten into it at its prime, like when it
pretty
started at the
much.
peak
I
and
still feel
then
like
dropped off. But
you could go into it and still make something. What I actually wanna do
probably,
is get into stock market, and I just wanna own stock in at least some companies that I think are good, like, whether it's not even a lot of money, but I'd like to say that I have money in something, that's gonna be worthwhile, you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
better than having no money and no stocks, but I don't even know where to
Yeah.
begin, and they make it so complicated, like you were saying, 40 different coins,
Yeah.
40 different 1,000 different
I'm
brokers I
cool
could
with
go to.
stocks. I've always
Which one's
considered
cool?
that
Yeah.
too. Like when I was
I
looking into
gotta. Oh
stocks,
yeah.
sorry, Haller.
No,
Uh,
no, no, no. Go
when I
ahead.
was looking into stocks like 3, 4 years ago, there's only one thing I remember when I was looking into it, and this is after I asked Ricky a bunch of questions because he had me and Nick over at Ricky's house. He was just telling us all about stocks, how he does it, and I know one thing, and I have no clue if it's still relevant, but he's like, oh, you can invest in something like Qualcomm, like the guys that make processors for phones. Like those guys never drop. They're always going up because phones are always being
Mhm.
produced and they're always making processors. So I don't know if Qualcomm's still a good investment, but that would probably be one of the ones I invest
Um,
in.
I've always thought about, local funeral businesses because I'm gonna get into the funeral business, might as well. People gotta die. It's a little morbid,
Duh!
but people gotta die. People gotta buy
That
caskets. It happens every
that
single day.
is
That is a
true.
billion-dollar
That's a
industry right there.
fact. I mean, you're not
Because
wrong.
what I think about when I think about stocks is if I'm gonna buy one, I'm gonna think, is this thing gonna be around in 10 years? And if the answer is yes, then I think that's probably a good way to start at least. because that's not going away.
No.
With the casket?
Yeah, casket business. I'm gonna start building my own caskets. I think and sell them.
Handmade.
You should call that business that 10-year caskets.
10-year caskets.
Question mark at the end.
They last 10 years. They're
From what
biodegradable.
I've heard,
your loved one gets sucked
it's
into the
the-
soot after 10 years.
Oh my God. From what I heard is the funeral business is very like family oriented. It's passed down through generations. So
Yep.
it's really hard to get into. But
The casket is?
or funeral business, any of that, yeah.
Oh, sure. That'd be
But
interesting.
I'm gonna weasel my way
What
in
if that
there.
was a concept? Reused caskets. When the next family member dies, the last person gets dug up and
and
gets
dumped out?
tossed, and the next person's body gets tossed in and back in the ground.
It's like,
Oh,
oh man, it's like an app where you can you have like an app where you can like pick your casket and you can see which one your family members had generations, and you can like look at like submodels of theirs. Damn, this one's on spinners. Like you
Damn,
make
what
like
if that was
really
just, like,
dope
this one's on
caskets.
Added
spinners.
to
Just,
like, what
pimp
if
my
that was just part of
casket.
Ancestry.com? What if they could somehow give you like an image of what the casket of all of your relatives' previous
Oh my,
looks
oh
like
my
right
god,
now?
dude! Like talking about like
That would be
satellite
overwhelming.
style X-ray that can give you an underground picture of like the
Mm.
casket.
Making metal.
Oh, the actually physical.
Yeah.
in
Oh,
the ground.
yeah.
Oh, that's so
That's
gross.
horrible.
I don't want to be buried though. I want to be taxidermied, I think. I just haven't found a guy that's willing to do it. Everyone I call, they won't do it. Apparently, it's against humanity. Like it's a crime against humanity. Which I don't think that's.
What the fuck?
What
I
if
mean,
he
the mummies
signed
did. I want to be mummified. Is what I'm asking here. Put the sawdust up my nose. Take the brain out. You know, take the hook. Pull that bitch
Holy
out.
shit.
Oh yeah, they have you. Your like generational family has you in like a glass case in their living room, like mummified.
Well, it's been done.
And it has-
it's not like it's a foreign thing or
And
concept.
it's all futuristic and like they're like like playing with apps, and you're over there and you got like one of the plaques on you, like you're in a museum. Like this was Jackson the 50th Phi or whatever from this millennia.
Oh
to
man.
Like it tells them about you. Like,
but what
and
if it
everything.
was more like
Or it's digital? It's digitalized. The casket.
Yeah, okay, that's exactly what I was going
Well,
to
you
get
know
at.
a
What if
guy-
it was like okay, everybody we get to the point where everyone's cremated. That's just the standard because that saves space. But you'll also get this digital card and you could get this slideshow. This digital slideshow of like each of your members, and like that's way future.
What if it? What if
that'd be
they
sick.
could? What if like it comes up and they could tell by your carbon footprint broken down that like what your favorite food was and like what you enjoy doing most of the time, and it's like coming up on the screen digitally, like in
Yeah.
front of the fucking.
Oh,
That'd be
no.
sus, dude.
Oh,
Back
it's-
to the taxidermy though.
this
a
turned
man
into
actually did
caskets to
taxidermy.
that.
Yeah, a man did taxidermy his cat and turned it into a fucking drone. So
I
if you haven't
saw,
seen that,
holy
holy
Just
shit.
look up
I
man
forgot about that.
taxidermies
That's
cat.
horrible.
into a
That's the mo-
drone. That's all I need to tell you. But do
It's the
something like
most
that with
horrifying
me.
thing
Make me a
ever.
helicopter or something. Maybe be able to fly.
I don't know. Like my dog Dexter.
Maybe a lampshade.
I
Put my
told
skin around.
Destiny that
Make
when,
it into like one of those raccoon hats. Those like
That'd be gnarly. Scalp me like an Indian.
It's so scary.
I was telling
Oh, no.
I was telling
Gross.
Destiny that when our dog Dexter passes away, I'm gonna get him stuffed, and she doesn't like that idea. And I'm like, come on, like, what if I make him into a nice end table, put a nice slab of mahogany on top of him? While he's on all
Yeah,
fours?
right on top.
No,
Yeah,
put him
man.
as like a good,
Unlock the
nice,
table there.
nice footrest. Like,
Okay, footrest.
just stuff him and just make him solid, and you can just lay your feet right on his back.
Yeah, it'd be perfect. Why not?
Always by my side to the end of time. It's like
That's
a
so
commercial.
horrifying.
It's like a
I
I did
commercial.
fucking A. I did cremate my cat, Stuart, that I had, and I do have her. I got her in a fairly cheap little urn, but it's pretty dope.
Yeah,
And
my
just off Amazon, it was actually pretty cool.
My bearded dragon's cremated.
Rest in peace. I remember the sake night.
Mm.
That's
Sake
I've
night.
never had sake. Sake's gross until
That was
that
the first
night.
time I had sake too. That shit's gross too.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Haller. I had maybe one more shot of that and I dumped it out and got rid of it. I was like, I'm not. Well, I literally carried it with me from like place to place when I moved, and I was like, this isn't gonna ever get. No one likes this.
It's funny because like
No.
not
I
only
felt
did I
bad.
go find sake,
It
I
was
made sure I
expensive.
found like the expensive one there.
Yeah, I felt really bad because I'm like, who likes this for that price? When I saw the sticker on the top, I'm like, good God. Long story short, everybody out there, when my bearded dragon passed away, the boys came over and Brandon brought a bottle of sake, which is like basically, I think, Chinese or Japanese like rice vodka, or it's made
Rice
with
wine.
rice
I think
wine,
is
and
what it
it's
is.
I'm not a
Yeah.
fan. It wasn't. It's salty and
Uh-uh.
it's weird.
Sweet. It's very
He's
distinct.
fermented as well.
Yeah. Aside
I
from
could
that,
see that definitely be an acquired taste, like that being like what you have at like as
Yeah.
a period piece.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, I believe that is the cheapest alcohol they have over there. It's in
That's
London.
crazy to think though. I mean, can't you make alcohol with almost anything technically?
with a lot of things, yeah.
Nile
yeah.
Red, he's a YouTuber, does science shit. He made moonshine just using toilet paper, like drinkable moonshine. Just
That's
crazy.
horrible.
Probably
Mm.
not good. Jackson,
No.
you're just like
Drunk, though.
you're one step away from being the WWE wrestler Sting if you just had the black lines. Isn't that gross? Like if you
I was
just
thinking,
like
he's
I
Sting.
could
giving me
add
more of the
black lines.
Crow,
Sting,
The Crow.
fucking Brandon Lee.
bro. That's a good movie.
Never seen it. That's a lie. I saw the first half once and I never finished it. I wasn't impressed.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that movie. He does kind of look like Brandon Lee in The Crow. What
A
the
little bit
hell?
of lore. If you look at my bowling pin, it's got black lipstick on. That was back when I wore a lot of makeup, and I never wore it on the show. So I'm like, I gotta wear it. They're like, "Who's this black lipstick dickhead? Who's that bowling pin?" And then now you know. Now they got the match.
Fucking black lip dickhead. Gross.
Well, we hope everybody
It does
out
make
there
my
is
teeth look really white though. Look
yeah,
at
it
that.
does.
Pearly. That's some pearly chompers there. It's
Yeah.
good contrast.
Zoom it in right there, right on the teeth.
Oh, I actually did go to the dentist recently. I had to get some cavities filled. Man, like I went in there. I'm always nervous when I go to the dentist, but
Yeah.
man, like when they have to put the shot in, I didn't feel it at all, and I was pretty
It's
pretty
usually
blessed.
not that bad. I
No,
mean,
they put
they've
numb
kind
in
of come.
jelly.
They've come a long
It's
time.
kind of funny because she's like touching my face, and she's like, "Can you feel this?" I'm like, "Yeah," but I really wasn't sure if I could feel it. She's like, "I'll just add some more," and she put more in, and my face was numb for like 6 hours afterwards, and I didn't want to smoke any weed while my mouth was numb, but I waited 6 hours, my mouth was still numb. I'm like, "Fuck it." I looked it up. It's safe. You can do whatever. So I go smoke a little weed, and literally my mouth numbness went away within 5 minutes. My mouth was not numb anymore as soon as I got high. And I was very, very confused. I'm like, lidocaine and weed,
Interesting.
I guess, just cancels it out. It was very interesting.
Dude, it's crazy. I don't know about. I don't think all of them would, but my dentist, like when I've had a cavity previously, you can be like, hey, like I have bad like anxiety, like with this, like, is there anything you can do? And usually they'll wheel out the fucking laughing gas for you, and you can just get fucking ripped shit crazy
I don't need
while
to
you're
get
doing it.
ripped shit on laughing gas like I'm the Joker. I'm just kidding. No, I've been on that shit. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I just
Oh
haven't.
no, I
Maybe
would
it's
never
back when I.
like. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, it is pretty scary how easy it is to get that shit, actually. But that aside, because let's not get into that. That's bad shit. But I don't
I'm
know.
fucked up, man.
Once in a
I'm
while,
fucked up.
if you're getting fucking instruments drilling into your fucking teeth, you
Oh
might
yeah.
as well be a little
Mhm.
on
Hit me with it,
a
Doc.
little something off. Yeah.
I can't feel it. Give me this. Yeah, I got here. Let me pump up the fan for you.
Oh no.
Tie me up.
Oh.
No.
But my dentists were actually fucking best friends with my brother's girlfriend, so they were really cool. Very chatty. You ever have a dentist where like they're asking questions and they got metal in your
It's
mouth?
fucking
It's like
annoying. It's like
there was at
Christ,
least
like I
like
can't talk,
5 or
you fucking
right.
moron.
There was 5 or 6 times where I'm like, "Do you want me to respond here?" She's like, "So, what do you like to do?" And like, "You got a fucking metal instrument in my mouth. What do you want me to say to that?" Yeah, yeah, that's what I do. Like, it is
Jack,
bizarre, man. I just couldn't handle it.
you know what I'm learning about this podcast or talk show is that you really hate the fucking dentist. Like every time you go there, there's just something
Yeah,
going on. Like,
That's horrible.
yeah. I don't like the dentist, man. Fuck the
Neither
dentist.
do I.
I was
Neither
gonna
do I.
ask him and I forgot to because I was gonna ask him. I really wanted to ask a dentist this. Be like going into dentistry, like, do you know that people hate you? Like, people don't like you. Like, you're the
They're
most hated
just
profession. Like, does
scared of
that
you.
deter you at
Like
all? Like, I just wanted to generally ask him that, and I forgot. But
maybe
I'm
we
gonna
can
ask
get
a
a
dentist that.
dentist as a guest on our podcast.
Dude,
That'd be cool.
I could finesse
Because
a
I am
dentist on
definitely
here.
interested. I mean, I'm interested in a lot of what somebody has to say as far as their like
Mhm.
profession. Like,
so, are any of these? Can you take any of this medication orally, doctor? You got any? You got any oral painkiller? You got any?
you got any
Anything orally?
suppositories you could possibly give me instead of
Oh my
orally?
god.
Yeah. So, doc, I hate to break it to you, I'm not a fan of needles. You got anything that you know?
Hello. Ooh.
Doc,
A little something.
sorry,
A
I
little
just
something.
I don't do sharp things. You got anything for you know? It's a little.
I don't do
So
sharp.
gross. They'd be so fucked. And you're at like the dermatologist or something simple. They're just like,
They
you're
want to do.
saying this to the person at the counter too. She has nothing to, and you're like, hey, like, can you just like let the doctor know ahead of time that like need be like if we need to do anything drug related, like prefer suppositories.
The other end, not the one without the teeth.
Oh god. Oh my.
Like as a as a person working at that counter at that moment, like what do you do at that moment? Do you play it off and then like still let them see them, or do you like is that too sus of a thing to say
I
to
think you
like
should make it very clear. Like repeat yourself a couple times. And the next, like maybe you're at like one of those secretary or like reception desks. There's another one. Hey, I know I told her, but I want to tell you too in case you talk to the doc. All right. That I can't do the no sharp things. All right. I don't. You need blood work done. Nada. Okay.
I don't do that.
But if anything needs to go into my body, okay, I would prefer it if it came in a suppository form for the end that doesn't have teeth. Okay, that's just what I'm saying.
You know, having spent time in mental wards, I feel like they've definitely interacted with people like that. Yeah, I
Really?
could see that very rarely being a possibility that there's a real man like that. A lot of junkies too that are looking for a fix, of anything.
Oh yeah.
So wouldn't be
Holy
surprising if you
shit.
asked one of them
That's
something like that.
scary to think about.
Oh yeah, there's some fucking junkies in my ward, and the fucking staff knew it, and they didn't like them, and they're fucking junkies.
Dude,
I mean, it's not
I
like
suppose I don't know.
just because that's not the
I
place
don't
they
know.
should
I
be
know
in.
nothing about that type of shit.
Right.
lost my camera there, boys, for a
Well,
second. I think.
I'm gonna go into it because I had a girl who was a junkie and they all knew it, and we learned further in that she was stealing Sharpies and fucking huffing them to get high, and I was one of the ones that was accused of stealing Sharpies, and I'm like, fuck you, like not like accused like you definitely did it. They're like, we know you use Sharpies, you've been taking them. I'm like, fuck you, I have been, and I literally told him, I'm like, it's the
I'm
one
sorry, but
crackhead.
were you dressed up with the makeup you have on like that?
No, not in the war. They wouldn't let me. The first day I was there, I
It
had my
was you,
makeup on.
Jackson. And you're like, fuck you.
Oh, I told
No, I
him,
know.
fuck you.
I'm just
I'm
playing.
like, I literally said, this is Zach. I said it was a crackhead that took him. Like, I didn't take the fucking Sharpies. And
That's
sure enough,
horrible.
guess who had the Sharpies? The crackhead. So
Well,
I
hey
was right.
Jackson,
That's Detective
what if they
Jackson in the
they
face.
came into your room and they're just like, "Where are the Sharpies, Jack?" And you got some black under your nose. You're like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah. Okay, what do you mean? It's fun to get high, man.
Yeah.
Get high.
What are you looking for? It's just all under your nose.
Fucking Jack Nicholson and the cuckoos over the cuckoo
Oh
nest.
my god.
Yeah.
Fucking
No, I
you're
used to
running
hide
through the
a
field at the
fucking
end.
food in my room because I wanted to eat later, you know. And you're not supposed to have it. It'd be like fucking private pile when they find the donut. They'd be like, "What is that?
What
in
Really?
the goddamn is
Interesting.
that?"
What in the
No,
fuck
I
is
don't
that?
no,
Yeah.
actually,
Do
I
you
hid it
want to
pretty
go
well
into
where they didn't
that?
find
Like,
it.
what is it actually
Yeah.
like? Was it a good
So Jackson,
experience
give us
overall,
like
actually?
Jack, give us the whole
Okay.
story and kind
If
of
you
the
don't mind, yeah.
background, and if you want, you don't
Yeah,
have to
you don't
share
have
it.
to,
I'll
unless
just
you
go
want.
obviously.
into the actual what it's like being in a psych ward. It's pretty much like you're a toddler and everyone talks down to you all the time, pretty much, kind of. I don't know, like, what is it to your guys' mind? What do you think it is when you go into it? It's not like I don't know how to describe it.
I
You know
just
what I mean?
I don't think
imagine.
it's all padded room, but
Yeah,
I think
no.
it's like
It's secure facility. It's
I do
clean.
picture very the same painted color walls everywhere,
Yeah.
which I think to me would drive me fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't
Not a
know.
lot of that. Colors are pretty vibrant.
I would hope
Fuck,
they
well,
Are the
I've spent
employees
time.
actually wearing different clothing, or are they wearing
Well,
like
yes.
the
Well,
same
there's
uniform?
no, there's two different. The nurses are all in blue. The BHTs, which are behavioral health technicians, they pretty much just help. They're like therapists, but they aren't. They're all in green. So it's blue and green. Um,
Who are
if
the
you're in a
ones that
good
are
facility,
physical?
Yeah, you got
Who
the
are the
big.
ones
yeah,
You got the
The
big boys in
physical,
the
if
like
you
the.
need to,
Yeah, like what color are they in?
or is
What are
that
those,
not a thing?
what are those guys repping?
Usually,
no, it's the same one. Actually, the head nurse, like the charge head dude, he was a big guy, like big. And this motherfucker, he hustled, dude. Like imagine like 300-pound man hustling down a hall. And that's all he's hustle,
fucking
dude.
Ben
He's like,
Stiller, Happy
but he's
Gilmore.
sweating all the time, so he's patting his head and like a fucking, you know, it's like a movie. He's like actually wiping sweat off his face and shit. And I remember him walking around there. He's got like three nurses with him. He's like, this is wrong. This is terrible. Why is this like this? This should not be like. Literally, he's saying this shit. He's like, this is ridiculous, guys. What's the
Pointing at
matter with
people
you?
or
Oh,
stuff?
things that were out of order, and as soon as he went around, things got a lot stricter in there. It's a lot, kind of a bummer, but
That's, I
fuck, I don't know.
mean, jokes aside, that's, I mean, would you say it helped though? Would you say,
Yeah, one of well, when it's a good facility, I've spent times in good and bad facilities.
Okay, that's
Shout
fair.
out to Prairie St. John's in North Dakota is terrible. They could suck my dick. Every single person there was fucking rude to me. So facility, they're supposed to check in on you every 15 minutes. They just got to know you're around. They did not do that at all. Um, Staff, I would say, for about 20, 25 of us, they had maybe 5 staff, which is fucking ridiculous. Like, I think there's maybe more of us. I think there's 30 for 5 staff, and versus me being in other facilities where there was like maybe 30, 40 to like fucking 20 staff. There's a good amount of staff.
Like half the amount of
So
staff there are patients.
yeah. And you could definitely tell when people care and don't care, you know, and a lot of the staff
Yeah,
was just phoning
that's a
it
big
in.
thing for sure.
But I did have a lot of decent staff. I don't know. It's pretty much just a normal place, kind of just a bed. There is classes, and what I mean is when you're taught like a toddler, it's like you're learning mental health, but you're learning it at the pace of an 8-year-old because some of these people's brains are like an 8-year-old. So,
Sure. Yeah,
Makes sense.
it
yeah,
makes sense.
Were
Yeah.
you in
it's a lot
like
of freak out.
were you in like the accelerated reading courses and stuff, or like how did that work?
Yeah, I was in a big class, the big smarts up there.
Man, I'm behind in
Um,
math. Shit.
I remember getting in trouble a couple times, because I talked one of the
You have
staff
to go
into
to
let me play
intervention,
Suicide
dude.
Boys. They weren't having it. They were having it. So we have a music group and they play it loud, dude. And I had them put on 4 the last time. and they played like pretty much the whole song, and then they're like, "All right, you're done. You can't pick any more music for today." And I'm like, "All right, cool." Still got to listen to it, and I can't believe they didn't fucking turn it off as soon as Scrim had the upside down cross in his forehead, and he's like,
What the
"You know, shoot
hell?
dope in my veins." They're just like, they're like this. They're like, "This isn't okay. You can't do this."
Yeah.
I got away
What the
with
fuck?
fucking
Fuck you,
How
Jack.
was
Why
the
the fuck
food?
did
sorts of
you do that?
wacko stuff. I can't remember. That
How's
was
the
awesome,
food?
dude. People were vibing in there. Pretty pretty mid. Not very good.
Was
Mostly
it
because I
was it bearable at least? Like to the
yeah.
point
Well,
where you
after
didn't dread it at least?
no, I didn't really dread it. I actually didn't
Was
eat
there
that
anything
much
you
in
liked
there.
a lot? Was
Um,
there like anything you had like more than once that was like,
oh,
yeah,
dude, the
this
chocolate
is
cake. That was my shit. I just ate that every night, and they're like, "You want cake again?" I'm like, "Yes, motherfucker. Give me that. I don't give a fuck. Give me more of that shit. I'll take 2 or 3." Yeah, all the time. So that was fire. Um,
two or three.
oh,
Two or
but my
three.
favorite one of my favorite memories though is actually a couple, but one of my favorite ones is when I played Hey Ya by Outkast, the music group, and everyone was vibing to that. And there's this rather, from what I was told, he was schizophrenic kid, could not talk, probably my age too, pretty sad, really out of it all the time. Respond to any other music, anybody's playing anything, didn't give a fuck. Like, people had Kiss on or whatnot. I don't really think of Kiss now because I look like fucking Gene Simmons, but I play Hey Outcast, and this motherfucker he's like, dude, he's like bopping, dude, he's weaving, he's like, yeah, it's my shit, dude. I'm like, yeah, dude, he likes Andre 3000, he liked that shit, dude. He's laughing and shit.
Okay,
So
he's
yeah.
I
cultured.
got
All
I got the
right.
schizophrenic to get moving, and that's all I need to know.
Hell
Hell
yeah,
yeah,
He
dude.
knows.
He
He's
fucks
got
with
some good
But
Outcast.
taste. Oh yeah.
yeah, you fucking find him just fucking killed himself that night.
Well, damn, Jackson.
God.
That'd be horrible.
I
Oh,
don't think. Well, I've had some people, yeah, get kicked out of there because they were self-harming and they had to go to the more secure wing. Yeah.
well,
People would
Jackson.
snap the combs.
That's unfortunate.
I'm sorry you had to deal with
Yeah.
that shit, man. Like that shit's fucked up. But it's an
No,
experience, right?
it is an experience. It's definitely a learning experience. Puts things in perspective because it's not like it's all age groups except for like, above 18, but there's some old people in there, man. And to just see like the look in their eyes of how done they are with like life really puts thing in perspective. It's like, fuck, do I want to be that dude in there like that? Like, no, fuck that.
Well, you
Like,
never.
I
I
just saw an
mean,
old. I
everyone
talked to
has
some
their own
people.
story, dude,
Right.
and
That's very
you
true. Very
never
very
know.
true.
Like,
Um,
and you got to think now. Like, with time, we're only gonna get because we've only been acknowledging mental health problems like that and shit.
mhm,
Not very long. Like, and it's only gonna get better as time goes. Like, just being able to help treat it. I don't know. I have high hopes for the future, and like I just feel like that's a big part of it is just to have that
mhm.
mentality, like we're gonna be
100%.
good
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. It'll all
Well,
work
it
out.
definitely. I know it's like we don't have a woman's perspective in it, but for really what it me was growing up is the stereotype is you're a man, shut the fuck up, your problems don't matter. And that's kind of how when I was raised at least how that was like instilled in my mind. Like that's why it took me so long to even reach out for help. So we can just break that one stigma. But of course I don't know it from a different perspective, like maybe women were also not being told that. People always say women get more help, but maybe
I don't
some
know.
just weren't.
That's
It's hard to
such a
say.
tricky thing, just because yeah, we
Mhm.
Yeah.
don't. Obviously, it's impossible for us to have that perspective. For
Mhm.
I know for me, like I'm not. I never felt stubborn about trying and like talking about it because I was a male. I guess I just felt like that was just me, my personality. I never associated that with my gender or whatever. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I definitely understand like how that's kind of like the what's pushed in media and shit and what it seems like, but I don't know. Me personally, I know I never felt pressured to feel that way because of being a guy. I just felt that way myself on my own.
Hmm.
For sure.
Children definitely get better care. Um, I've had that firsthand better care because I was I was sleeping in the emergency room, and this is before you go to the psych ward. I get woken up at 2 a.m. They're like, "You're moving rooms." I'm like, I'm like, why? I'm like dead asleep. I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, we got a little kid that came in, and we need him closer to the nurses station so he can get like better care. And they end up moving me all the way to the end of the hall, and I had to like walk like fucking 50 feet, dude, through doors and security. They had to weigh me down. I'm
You're
like,
like,
I went through like 2 doors. I'm like 2 a.m. They're like, oh my god. They're like, spread your arms. I'm like, I don't have a
Oh
knife
my
on me.
God.
You just dragged me out of bed, you cocksuckers. And they bring me in the room. Dude, I was
That's
fucking mad,
scary.
dude.
Jackson's
Yeah,
like,
what the fuck?
Jackson's like half awake. Who's this fucking Tonka truck fucking dickhead? He's taking my fucking
Yeah, I
bed.
wasn't
dude.
gonna
I saw
act
him.
a
I'm like,
fool, but
they
now
had to
I
hold me
might.
back. I'm like, fuck you, motherfucker. That's my room, bitch. Don't touch
Yeah,
my shit.
He
Hold me
gets
back.
super territorial. It's like a
Yeah.
7-year-old
You start
kid.
pissing on everything.
The 7-year-old
Yeah.
kid's like having a seizure, and you're just fucking super angry at him.
Oh my god. Oh shit. All right. Last story about the psych ward, and then we're done. And we're gonna go on to different topics. Another really funny story. So TV time.
Oh,
There's
God.
2 TVs in the ward I was in, and they had a lot of controversial shit go on. Like I've had the South Park episode, like because I always put on South Park, where South Park characters kill themselves a lot throughout the show, and I had that
Nice.
one where it's the roller derby one, or the not the roller derby. It's Randy gets that
That
Parton
element,
protocol accelerator.
yeah.
And he puts it into the derby for that. And in the episode, the dude's
The Pinewood
dad blows
Derby.
his brains out.
Yeah.
The Pinewood Derby, yes.
Yeah.
And I remember that scene going on, and staff walks
Because
by.
he didn't win.
Dude blows his brains out, and she's like, "We're done watching South Park," and it was never on again the whole time I was there because that ruined it. But the second time was my favorite. It was I put on John Wick 2 because I knew it was coming on. I'm like, fuck yeah, John Wick 2. I get the TV. No one else is in the room. It was just me. I'm like, I'm watching it. And it's the scene, and there's a staff that walks by during this, and it's the scene where she cuts her wrist. If you remember that, and they showed this on TV. Remember when she cuts her wrist in John Wick
in the
2 and lays in the
bathtub?
pool? Yeah.
Kills herself.
And then after
Yeah.
that, he does the catacomb fight. I had a staff come by while she did that, watch it with me, look at it, and then the catacomb fight. He watched it for 15 minutes, and he's like watching the fight. He's like, "Damn, this is brutal as hell! Like, damn, that's crazy, dude." Literally says that. He's like, "This is so brutal, dude," and he walks away.
Damn.
He's just like, whatever.
Oh, those are
My favorite
great
staff
movies,
of all
dude.
time. Yeah,
Instant
so
classics.
good.
I can't wait for 4 and
and
5.
it was on
Absolutely.
Spike TV, and Spike TV, when they put on movies, they don't really censor it that
Is
much.
Spike
So
TV
it was
still a
very
thing?
much
I
are.
guess so.
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't had TV
Yeah.
in a long time.
Neither have I.
as far as I
always
know, it
just
was, but
streaming
they don't
shit.
censor that shit. So John Wick was blasting people in the head and shit, and it was crazy.
Fuck
Good
yeah,
times.
dude. So good.
So really quick, guys. I just want to talk about fighting. I know we do almost every week, but there is no UFC this weekend coming up. But there was UFC last weekend, and if anybody watched UFC 278, you'll know that the prelims and stuff were pretty mid. The start of the main card was pretty mid. It was pretty decent. But then you got to like the co-main and main, you're like, God damn, man. Like that co-main, Paulo Costa versus Luke Rockhold was like a bar fight. Like something you see out of a movie. Like Luke Rockhold Rockhold's just bleeding from the mouth. He's like, fuck you, and then just like lands like a right hand and rocks Costa. I was like, damn, dude, like that's crazy. And then and then like what? Leon Edwards decides he doesn't know or remember how to fight, and then randomly in the 5th round out of nowhere, he's getting dominated the whole time. Not really like rocked or anything, but like just dominated. Like Kamaru's taking him to the ground when he wants to and all that stuff. And then just like less than a minute left in the 5th round, Kamaru's gonna keep his belt. Leon throws a fucking head kick and knocks him out.
Mm-hmm.
It was
like-
a fucking. I think it was a fluke, dude.
Like, what was
Kamaru's-
that?
I think that was crazy. My jaw dropped.
Same. Like, I was...
That was
I
such
think-
bullshit, though.
I wasn't speechless because immediately after that, I was like, Howler, did you just see that? Did you just see
literally,
that happen?
my jaw dropped, and you're like, "Did you see that? Did you just fucking see that, Haller? Did you just fucking see that right now, dude?" And I'm like, "It was it was
Fuck.
crazy."
Yeah.
I
That
wonder
did
if he
make
did
for
that
the
on
night.
purpose.
Yeah.
I
If
don't.
he or like
There's
he
no
like
way.
held back and be like, this
That's what I
guy's
was
gonna get
telling Howler.
comfortable with the amount I'm
Oh.
fighting, and now I'm just gonna go full force, and this guy's not gonna be comfortable
See,
anymore.
I doubt
Warm
he'll
up.
ever say it, and he won't say it for years. But I was thinking that same thing, Jack. Is like I'm wondering if like he just practiced like submission defense and like there's a lot of movement and distance, and then just like plan to act like he didn't know what he was doing or just not be active at all. Tire Usman out, which we all know who tires out Usman, right? Anybody at that top tier can go 5 rounds, but you're still at least tired. It's to some degree. So he gets him to the 5th round, and then out of nowhere, when he kind of drops his guard more, he just fucking times that feint or whatever I think he did with the left or the right hand, and then threw the head kick right after it, almost right after it, and then just hit him in the head. Dude wasn't even expecting it. It looked like he didn't even have his hand up.
I mean, no, he definitely wasn't expecting it. Nobody expected it.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
Christ.
You never expect the knockout punch ever.
Yeah.
Nobody ever does.
Oh man,
Mm.
it was a good one. I'm looking more forward to this weekend's fight.
Yeah.
Actually,
why don't you go into
the
that,
day this
Brandon? Yeah.
episode is So actually, today, if you're watching this as it's out, fucking Candyman Sam Hyde is fighting, and actually, I just start the whole card. It's on DAZN, pretty big, big venue. Obviously, DAZN's actually a big boxing. Sam Hyde aside, but just KSI himself being able to pull in like a pay-per-view on DAZN. Like, I don't care for the guy. Like, I don't watch his shit, but like, I mean, good for him. Like, he's cashing out on the whole boxing thing right now.
It's crazy to think that that YouTuber is doing this now, and same with even Fusi too. It's like, what is that Fusi? Like that's fucking that's that one dickhead that would like do fake fucking pranks and shit that are garbage. Girls kiss him in public, and it's just garbage content. You never think you'd see it, but it is really cool.
But yeah, Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say that I plan on going up to North to visit the boys this weekend, and we plan on watching that KSI fight card and watching Sam Hyde fight. So that'll be fun. So yeah, I'll be coming up Friday evening, staying up there for probably head back either Saturday night because the fights they're kind of early. Like they're supposed to get done around 8 or 9. So the boxing matches, I think they start
what time
at like
do they start?
I think like 4 p.m.
Fuck. Okay.
I don't know.
I'll make it work.
You know how that shit goes. It kind of like changes. So like, I don't know.
No, for
I
sure.
don't even think I'll be able to see Sam fight because I worked till 6 that day. So
fuck.
You'll
Who knows?
see Sam fight.
But the promos so far, they started within the last day or two. But Candyman is actually in full force, and it's been nothing but spicy so far.
Yeah,
it's been fantastic.
Sam Hyde's been playing a character he calls the Candyman leading up to this fight and for the fight, where he's playing this character. It's got like what is it, an Irish accent, Scottish? What is it? It's like a combination.
Yeah.
And then he's saying like Lod, like he's a fucking pirate. Like I don't know, but the Candyman's angry, and the Candyman's coming.
I just now realized that I think he's buying into the whole Paddy Pimblett hype thing right now, and like McGregor. I think people just like the not necessarily just Irish, but
people like a thick accent with somebody that's just like
right.
Really,
I like his he's like, I've been chewing hard toffee and fucking stretching hard.
Oh, he's talking in riddles,
candy pretzel,
and they're so well thought out. And like,
right? He knows what he wants to say.
I did see him start to look at his phone recently, but he's gone through so many riddles, like just off the top of his head. Like, he's must have rehearsed these. He's put not only the boxing, but mental game. He's been.
That's he's doing stuff like that.
The Candyman's coming for you. He's talking to fucking
Load
Thompson.
up that thing.
I like also what the reporters have been saying is that Sam is insane and that he has a terrifying presence when he walks around. And these are coming from actual people who are just in the proximity of him. And I don't think Thompson understands the extent of what he's gotten himself into. Because he's going in there with a maniac. This man is insane. He's
He's in
not a
such good
sane
shape
person.
too, actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Spicy meme. I saw somebody split up that picture of him all beefed up into like the 5 cards from Yu-Gi-Oh! That fucking
Oh,
Yeah.
which I don't even remember his name, but you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. It was,
Mhm.
But he's looking great. He's not gonna allow himself to lose. We've said it here
no,
before,
absolutely not.
and it's almost a guarantee. Money's on him.
Yeah. I would my jaw would drop if Sam got knocked out or lost.
Oh, his opponent randomly throws a head kick and just drops Hyde.
In a
Big
boxing match.
In a boxing match, dude, I'd be fucking worried about Sam afterwards of that. I don't know if he'd be safe.
Oh, he would retaliate in full strength of Titans.
Yeah. He gets up and bites him in the neck.
Oh my god. Dude, speaking of like crazy
Elbow.
people and shit, I have a topic here about buying like weed from plugs and shit like that. Like, you know how like if you ever bought weed from like kind of a guy who's a little sus, any like good weed buying stories? I got a good one. I have dozens, but I got one really good one recently. And this is gonna indict me, so I'm going to jail. Ben, if you hear this, fuck you. It's too late. I've already bought the drugs. Go to buy drugs, go to buy a little bit of weed, go to Champ's Chicken.
Oh
And if you
god,
don't know
not
what Champ's
Champs.
Is
Chicken
this in the last 30
it's on-
days?
This is the last 30 days, correct? Yes.
Oh
Um,
no. I was hoping
yeah,
you were gonna say no, because then I was gonna say, well, then you can at least say it was a long time
No,
ago.
no,
You regret
it was
doing
just
it.
it was the last 30 days. I go there, I get the weed from the weed man. I get out, and as I get out, he rolls down his window, and there's a couple black dudes out there, and they're like, "Hey, you want any of that Zaza?" And these guys say exactly this. They're like, "You speaking my language, bro? What you got?" They go up to him, dude. I'm standing here, I'm watching all of this, dude, and they look at his weed. They look at it, dude, and they're like, damn, bro, this shit mid as fuck. It's garbage, dude. And they're dissing my plug's weed so hard that my plug got fucking insulted. He was like mad. He's like, fuck you guys. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. He's like, I'm watching this I'm getting in my car now. I'm like, I don't want any part of this. He's like, fuck, you got some mid-ass weed, bro. And they drive off. He drives off. But it was the funniest interaction I've ever seen between two people, just randomly. He just rolls down his window. Yeah, so
Neutral drops out of there.
honestly, you know what's funny about that is this weed that I picked up, I think it's the best I've ever bought from him. So I don't know what those guys are talking about. Maybe they do know their shit, but it was pretty spicy.
I don't know.
Do you have any stories like anything weird? Any experiences like that, Haller?
Me?
Yeah.
But dude, I don't. I mean, yeah, I'd have to think about it.
I could tell
but, like,
mine. I'll tell mine right now.
Yeah, no, fuck yeah.
Think about it.
So
I'll
I
come
was
back to it.
I was going to purchase some product, and it was not the normal person I would purchase from, and it was a buddy of mine, Ivan, one of my best friends I grew up with. He had a buddy, his supplier of the product, and he recommended me to him. So I went to go, and this is the only time I ever purchased from this gentleman, and this is why. Go to his house. It's some random apartment downtown, kind of scummy. Get in there, and mind you, Ivan is actually with me. Like, he brought me with because this dude was like skeptical, even though this dude went to our school and was literally a year younger than us. Like, he was in a grade below us. This dude we were going to. Yeah, I know. We go in there. It's like he has his own apartment. So the dude's like, what, at this time? He's like a freshman in high school, has his own apartment at this like crappy, just rundown place. Like, as soon as I go in there, I wanted to make it as quick as possible because when I got into his apartment, it just smelled like cat piss, and I could see the litter box hasn't been cleaned in like what looked like months. Okay, and we go in there and like we go past the kitchen, we go in this little side room, and this is like his room where he's like, I don't know, hanging out. It's like a chill room. There's like a little incense thing going on. Like there's like some chill music playing. We get in there. He goes, "Yo, what up, Ivan?" And then like does a cool handshake with Ivan. Totally skips me. "Hey, man." That's all he says. Like, he just didn't like me. I'm like, all right. He's like, "What do you need?" And I told him what I need, and he's like, "Okay, hold on." he gets this rig thing, and I couldn't tell what was on it. He's like, I'm going to need you guys to shut up for the next 10 to 15 minutes. I'm like, we're like, oh, Ivan's like, okay. And I'm like, yeah. And he just hits this rig, and there's like some white stuff on it. I'm like, Ivan, like, what was that there? Like, and he's hitting, he's like, oh, that's DMT. And I'm like, oh. And so Ivan and I are just sitting there on this couch. There's like some weird, like the dude on his TV has literally got like one of those fish screensavers from like Windows XP on his screen. He's got that on YouTube running, and he's just sitting there. And for 10 minutes, like 12 minutes, Ivan and I are sitting there, and the dude's just, oh my God.
Oh my God.
I got dudes. Oh my God. And like he's just doing that, gripping his chair like armrests so hard, like that for like 10 to 15 minutes, looking at these Windows 98 style screensaver fish on his screen. Dude's having the time of his life, and Ivan and I are there like Ivan are kind of looking at each other. Ivan just basically thinks that this is kind of normal. Dude snaps out of it. He's like, oh, he like comes back. He comes back. Dude's profusely sweating, like beading, dripping sweat. I'm sweating, looking at him sweating. I'm in this hot room. It smells like cat piss, dude. I'm just there to get some product. Dude then just kind of snaps out of it. Immediately goes over to the safe in the corner, opens it, measures out the product, remembers what I told him I needed from before, gives it to me. I give him the cash. It's like, all right, have a good night, guys. And we're just like, yeah, man, see ya. And I don't know if Ivan ever talked to that guy still anymore or what that dude's up to, but goddamn, dude was like a freshman hitting like that was the like weirdest experience I've ever had. And there have been more, but nothing really comes close to that. That one was like I've never experienced DMT. Like I've never experienced it myself. I had never ran into it until that moment in my life, and I've never seen it since or ever encountered it or seen somebody on it. Seems like some crazy stuff, man, because that dude was on a trip. Like,
yeah,
apparently it lasts hours, but
that's a good
I
one.
don't know. It's not. Oh, DMT is only 15 minutes and it's over.
Yeah, it's a short trip.
Yeah, if you take acid or shrooms, you're gonna be.
It's a crazy
hours.
Trip. I know that, but yeah, it's very short. But
I've seen people, well, like you said, like kids that are like 16, 15 taking DMT, and it's not good because I know kids that would do that, and I'm like, no, I would always be scared. I'm like, no,
that's so bad.
Something when I do when I'm
too
older.
young for that type of shit.
I feel like
young.
young.
I don't know.
Safe.
Now that I'm
older, I
older,
I shouldn't even
smoking weed like at that age and shit, I honestly wish I did wait till I was, I don't know, at least 20 to start smoking. Just because like I feel like I can tell that like smoking as much as I did before my brain was technically fully developed, like did do
It's not good.
something.
Yeah, it
Like,
makes sense. Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. That's how I feel. I'm not a fucking doctor, but
I agree. Yep.
I wish
My
I wish
attitude is. Oh, I was saying, yes, I agree
Yeah,
with
go
it,
ahead.
but like, you can't go back. It's too
No.
late, you know.
No, I don't.
Gotta go on forward.
Good times. Fucking good
Yeah.
times. But yeah, I don't know. And the thing is, like, I don't know. My parents were super like kind of like normal as far as like, yeah, we tried weed once, not worth it, don't try it type deal.
Mhm.
Finding out later that that was like obviously a fucking lie, but
Yeah.
it's just kind of. But I always had like the bad vibe against that shit on my own. Like, I don't know. I went through that whole dare thing, which was bullshit on its own, but
Same here.
I don't know. The whole weed thing was kind of weird. It was just one day I wanted, or for the longest time, wanted nothing to do with anything like that. And then just was with some of my best friends at the time. I was like, do you guys want to try weed? Just out of the blue. I mean, it
Yeah.
was in high school at least, but I was like, fuck, should try weed. Fuck it, why not? And good times.
That was me.
I
With
remember
like,
that. That's what I did too.
Actually, it was too intense the first one or two times. I liked it, but it was
So
something.
much.
Obviously,
me-
everybody knows that smoked it. Like those first few times is
For-
fucking something.
For me, when I first tried cigarettes for the first time, it was like that, where it was like I despise cigarettes, I didn't even vape before cigarettes. I wanted nothing to do with nicotine. And then just one day I was hanging out with guys. They didn't even offer me because they know I didn't smoke. They just had cigarettes. I'm like, I'll take one. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah, no shit.
It's just like
Yeah, I've never
I swear
felt
to
peer
God.
pressured to
Yeah,
do
right.
anything.
For some reason, I feel like there's this moment, and for me, it happened when I was 18. I was out of high school. Like, this was the summer I just graduated.
That's fair.
And
That's
I
not
feel like
even-
that had something to
that's
do
not
with
that
it, because
bad.
when I was in school, in my mind, I had drilled in that like homework and school were the most important, nothing else. And sure, I did maybe a little bit of underage drinking in school, but nothing like extreme. But like
Sure.
something flipped in my mind, like right after I graduated. I was like, let's experience things, and I don't like cigarettes
Fuck
or
it,
nicotine
why
or
not?
anything like that. Yeah.
I mean, I
Not
don't know
gonna
about the
kill ya.
nicotine, but out of everything, like I fully endorse everybody should try weed at least once.
I think everyone should try mushrooms at least once. And I'm not
Yeah,
talking no
that's fair
microdose 1
too.
milligram. I'm talking like, see the devil, and
No,
shit like
I
that.
don't know
I
That
about a
is-
full
be
trip.
melted.
That is
Oh,
not
I
a.
love
Definitely
that.
I can
Dude,
agree with
That
I
is
have
maybe not a
learned.
microdose, but maybe I don't know.
I've
'Cause
learned
what do they
more
say?
about
Like a half
myself.
eighth is what you're supposed to start with. I think. I don't know. It was a long time ago since
Nah,
I've done that shit,
um,
but that's what I did.
I
I
took
think.
an eighth when I started. Fucked me up.
Was
But,
it an eighth or not a half eighth? I don't know.
It's
Eh,
not a.
well,
It's not a
if you-
bridge I've. Mushrooms is not a bridge I've crossed yet.
There's
but
so many
I've
different types
wanted
though
to.
too. Is the thing.
yeah,
It's like
right. Depends on what you get. It's like if you
Yeah.
have an eighth of golden caps, which I have taken, you're gonna get really fucked up. Like you
Yeah.
can take one
No,
and a
I've never
half,
done that.
and you'd be fine. I've taken 10 grams of golden caps. I've seen some shit, dude, that I don't think I should have seen, but I've seen some fucking crazy shit, dude. Should I
Yeah,
get
what the
into it?
fuck?
Do we
I
have time
believe
for
that.
that?
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, we
Um,
have plenty of time.
So
We're just
so
we
10
just
grams.
we just hit an hour and 1 minute.
So 10 grams is considered a hero dose. And that's a lot of mushrooms. And let me tell
no
you,
shit. That
eating
sounds
10
like it.
grams, eating 10 grams of mushrooms was no cakewalk. I'm telling you, I've never had stomach pains more than that in my life. Until the trip hits, your stomach hurts so much. Like I was on the ground, like almost
Oh
like
no!
almost crying, like in so
Did you
much
eat
pain.
it with anything else?
Nope, just raw dog them. And also, if you haven't tasted mushrooms, just go and eat a pine cone. It's the same thing. Just start eating
They
pine
don't
cones.
taste
It tastes
good.
like that. I'm not exaggerating. It tastes like
Like
pine cones
dirt.
and shit because
Yeah.
it's gross and shit. But we were watching Batman Arkham Knight or not Batman Arkham Knight. It's the fucking game. What am I retarded? We're watching Batman The Dark Knight. And
Hell yeah,
it's the
brother.
scene where he goes to Japan to go and grab that one dude. He jumps off the building. And I remember this so vividly. So vividly. He was on top of the building. And I remember seeing him. And all of a sudden, everything turned to lines. Everything was just a line. Colors. Batman became a black line. Everything just became lines. All I could see was lines. Like vertical, up and down. Everything. That's all it was. Vertical, up and down lines. So like imagine you, but you're chopped up into just straight like lines.
Whoa,
And
that's horrifying, dude. That sounds fucked
it
up.
was just. I remember watching that. And I'm like, whoa, that's fucked up. And then, the entire night, it was that trip went away. The entire night, it was as if someone taped to my right side of my head. It's like someone taped 100-foot long mirror to the side of my head, so everything was reflected. Literally, I'm not joking. So it was like everything from my right was reflected. I still have a vivid memory. I could picture myself in my friend's chair, sitting there. I'm like just chilling. And I look over, and guess who I see? I see me looking right back at me. And then now I'm that Jackson looking at me over there, and I'm like, holy fuck! Because I remember I wasn't sitting on the chair. I was like 2 feet above it when I looked over at myself. And then when I was myself, I was floating above the fucking chair, dude. And I kept looking back at myself. I could go like this. It was like that Spider-Man meme where I was like kept becoming that dude, and then I'm that dude, and then I'm like that. I'm like, who is it? Which one do I do?
That's horrifying.
That was really crazy. It was pretty scary, but my friends were freaking out way worse. I remember towards the end of the trip, I forgot who they were. I had a bit of ego death, and I remember my best friend Glenn. I literally was like running away from him because I thought he was trying to kill me, but wasn't trying to do anything at all.
What the
Sounds
hell?
fucked, dude.
Yeah, that was really, really hardcore. I didn't feel normal until like a month after that. I was so fucked up, dude.
Yeah, I take it back. I never
Yeah,
want to try him
otherwise,
ever again.
no, it was fun. That's don't take 10 grams. And I took more than anybody else in the room, so I was just gone. Yeah, my friend had a red light bulb in his bathroom, and like that red light throughout the night would like it would be like someone put it right next to me, and there was just an aura of red around me the whole night. As soon as I went to the bathroom and came out, it's like the light stuck to me, and all I had was red glowing around me, and I was just like, "What the fuck?"
Whoa.
Um,
So, dude, the
and then
future is
my
gonna be
friend,
sick when we can have underglow ourselves.
yeah, dead ass, I had underglow. Yeah, it's pretty much all I really remember from that. I blacked out majority of
Jesus
it.
Christ.
My
Sounds
friends were trying
fucked.
to talk to me, and like I couldn't talk. I just
Really?
couldn't fucking talk. Yeah. Remember my friend freaking out because he thought his dog was dying. He was like trying to like
What the
leave the
fuck,
house
dude?
and shit. Yeah, it was not
That's
good.
so shitty. No, I
But
don't.
what made that trip really well is my friend's mom knew about it and didn't care, and she's a really cool lady. She's missing one leg, like used to smoke weed with us and shit. Like she had like good mom weed. Like I'm talking like
Wow.
jars of ounces of weed just out. Really, really cool lady, but she actually calmed a lot of them down when they were freaking out. So it's very nice to have that. But I was chill. I had a good night.
Yeah, I get it.
10 out of
Had a good
10.
night.
Probably wouldn't do it again. It was a little fucky. But here's the thing about scary trips is to me they're kind of fun. It's fun to be that scared because I always had it in the mindset is it's gonna be over. You're gonna return back to normal, and I did. I was fine. Not. I don't think I have
Yeah.
any long lasting effects, and I've actually been psychologically tested for it, and I found that mushrooms had no long lasting effect on me through doctors. So very blessed that.
They can
So
tell
it's
that.
safer than people think. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
sure.
yeah, they can
I
tell.
definitely
Oh yeah.
believe that it's safer than
hmm
the
They were talking about it, and they're
com-
like,
common conception.
with the amount that I've took, because I've tripped probably like 6 times on mushrooms, 4 or 5 times on acid. They were like, if you were gonna have anything come out of it, like really bad, you would have already have had that like happen. Like there's nothing that else it can
And that's the
cause.
thing, though. Even with acid, is like technically, like if you have pure LSD, it's not fucked with at all, and like you have
hmm
like a normal dose, like that's not technically bad for you. Like I mean, even microdosing's technically, they used to fucking do that shit to
Microdosing's
kids
good.
with LSD, like for like
hmm
kids with bad vision and shit.
Well, Harvard cooked Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. They cooked his
Yeah,
brain with LSD.
yeah, they
Um,
did.
LSD. The only really cool thing I had happen was that is one I went to Bentleyville, which was
Wait,
overwhelming.
back up here. Hold
Yeah,
on. They cooked
yeah.
the guy's brain without what?
Oh,
Explain.
Okay,
you don't know about?
so
Okay.
you don't know this. I'll say what I know, and then Brandon can kind of add on to what I know.
You don't have to. You can
So
do quick cliff notes too. You
during
don't
the
have to.
during the '60s, Harvard had a program that they took students, they paid them to take LSD, and basically it was a mind control experiment. So during the experiment, they would mentally berate you, just say you're a piece of shit. They would play flashing lights in your eyes,
Good God.
like strap you down, and they did
Real
this to
Clockwork Orange
Ted
shit.
Kaczynski. They did it to Ted Kaczynski, who is the Unabomber, and they cooked his brain so bad that made him go crazy and want to blow people up. And the reason that Ted Kaczynski did that is because a lot of people don't know this, but Ted Kaczynski was mainly targeting big like how do I say it? Like big people that were making like technological like technical like revolutions like with AI and stuff like that.
So he was targeting
He's
like
bombing
people that
those
were engineering AI or that were designing
engineering, yes, stuff like that because
futuristic stuff.
he got his brain cooked so bad that in the future he saw that eventually the AI would rise up and murder us all.
So
That's why he
Terminator. He
started to do
thought
that.
Terminator was.
Yeah,
He thought he was
exactly.
going back to
Yeah.
stop. Okay,
hmm
gotcha.
Pretty much. And this is all attributed to Harvard. They did that. They admitted it. They don't deny it. Like, I mean, they do and they don't, but and it's not just him. They fucked up a lot of people. If you read
Oh,
more
for sure.
into it, it's really fucked up what they did to these kids.
Yeah.
The
Oh
amount of
yeah,
acid they were
100%.
giving them. Like I took the highest I took was 225 UG, and that's a lot. And they were giving these kids like 1,000, and that I don't even want to imagine what that would do to your brain.
Jesus
To cook you.
Christ.
No. Fucking MK Ultra.
But
Shit.
Jack, what were you
Yeah,
saying before I
pretty much.
interrupted you? Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, only the cool thing on acid I've ever seen was just a lot of like lines and stuff moving. But I remember laying in my bed and my ceiling fan was like the entire night. It was like it was 2 feet in front of my face, so I was so scared to move. Like I was laying like this. I have my friend has a picture of me in my bed. I'm like this, like lean back, and I'm like, dude, I can't move because this thing's on high and it's like, right in my face. And like I can't get near it. And eventually I calmed down and was like, it's not near me. But for like a couple hours, I was sitting there like, this ain't
on
cool.
high, man.
Yeah, it's on high. It was. Thing's on high, bro.
I
If
don't
I
like
reach out,
it.
I'm gonna touch it. And they're like,
Christ.
you're dumb. You're fine, dude. And yeah, it being fine.
Huh.
Good times. Crazy
This
ass.
is good times. Well, boys, we do have quite a few topics here left on the list. Did we want to wrap up? Is there any of them jumping out to you guys that we wanted to go over here before the end of episode number 10?
I mean, I don't know. I know
I would
how I
say
feel. How do you feel, Jack?
I feel good. I just want to throw out there slogans for Gutterball. Those of you listening, the 30 of you that are listening to this, appreciate you. We love you so much. What do you want to hear? What do you think a Gutterball slogan should be? You know, like we got to have something to us. You know, I got a couple.
Yeah.
You've been guttered.
Like a call
is
out.
good.
Like if you
You've
see
been-
like a fan.
Yeah.
That'd be
Jack,
spicy.
Or like
Gutterball Militia. We're starting it.
Jackson,
I like
That's not the
the
slogan,
idea.
but like that's what we're starting. That's gonna be the
Mhm.
Yeah.
our group.
Well, Jackson, go ahead and start naming them off, and I'll do the meme naming of it after you say it. Go ahead. Go ahead. with
Oh,
the
I
ones
only
that you come
have a
up with.
couple off the top of my head, but you've been guttered.
You've
Pretty
been
good one.
guttered.
Terrorizing ears since 2022.
Terrorizing years since 2022.
I like that, and then I keep it classic with just the fuck you. You know,
Fuck
Gutterball.
you. Fuck
Entertainment,
off.
Fuck you. Yeah.
Go
But
fuck
We
yourselves.
want to hear what you guys have. You know, we want to have something that's recognizable, like a little
Have a
maybe
sad
we'll
one?
even come up with like a little jingle or something.
A jingle. Let's hire Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, get him to do it.
Christ. Oh, fuck you. Is that what his character in Two and a Half Men? or something?
Yeah, you're right.
Nice.
Shitty jingles.
That was a good one.
But other than that, folks, I'm good with all my topics. If the co-hosts are
Episode
all right.
10 was good. I mean,
Yeah.
10 episodes.
Crazy.
I mean,
About that.
fucking 10 times of this, and we're at 100.
10 weeks straight, and we're gonna keep going. So just quickly out there before we sign off, everybody, go look up Zach Holmes. You probably recognize the guy. He does a lot of stunts and stuff. He was in the latest Jackass movie. Go look up Zach Holmes paintball gun to mouth. You go ahead and watch that video. You'll like that one. And then
Great one.
I know we mentioned at the beginning, we are going to try to have guests on. Maybe I can get one for next week. No promises. But we also we're thinking about like guests that like we probably have to pay to get them to obviously be on here. You know, people that are more well known. But we're gonna try that superhuman guy or human guy, the juggalos and juggalettes, the short guy that jumps on, breaks stuff, and hurts himself. That guy. We're gonna try to get him on here because I think that dude has some crazy stories. I think, and I'd like to rattle his brain a bit. But I see the Cars TV is now on in the background there. Very menacingly, and we should probably call it a wrap.
I didn't even realize what that was.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, fucking yeah,
I
people.
don't like the Lightning McQueen.
Comment who you would want to see as guests. Like if it's attainable, like we'll definitely try for it. And if it's not attainable, we'll probably still try for it at some point.
Yeah.
Like fuck it.
Do
Or if
you
want to be a guest? Yeah.
Do you want to be on here? What do you do? Who are you? Why do you think you'd be a good guest? Put it in the comments. We'll set it up. You can come. It's gonna be, it'll be fun. Yeah, fuck you. Comment.
Who are you?
All right. Well, I'm not sure where Jack went, but this is episode number 10. We're going to be signing off. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Take it easy. Gutterball!